Hey ladies, today is Friday, April 24th, 2020. And I am 41 weeks out. Michaela's 41 weeks. I plan to do this week count. I would say countdown, but counting until 52 weeks, which is not that far from now. So just a quick update. So we are, I guess, like 6 weeks out into the quarantine, and yesterday, I'm losing it. Yesterday was the first day that I left the house in almost 6 weeks, and that was just to go. My church has they get donations from like food banks. They drop off tons of food, and usually I never go over there to get it, and I never, especially now that there's no church services, so I don't make the trip over there. But I wanted some produce because I just placed an order from the supermarket, an online order, and had them deliver. And I received that on Wednesday. But so many things were missing. Like, they're just out. The supermarket was just out of so many things. Like, I received absolutely no meats. So I guess that's a sign that I need to go vegetarian or something. Absolutely no meats. Let's see, what else? Just lots of things were missing. Like, no butter. Lots of produce that I order for both myself and Michaela. Like, she eats butternut squash. They didn't bring that. I wanted to try kiwi with her. They didn't bring that. Just a whole bunch of things. Like, it was crazy to me. The only things they did bring produce wise were carrots, bananas, avocado, and pears. So no apples. They didn't like, it was just a lot of things that they did not bring. A lot. And that's a little concerning, because it's not about being able to afford food if you can't find it. Like, that's really what it is. Like, if you can't find it, what do you do? And that's kind of what I'm thinking now, because like I said, there were no meats, of course, no paper products. So toilet paper, paper towel. Luckily, we're good on toilet paper. Paper towel we could use more of. We're kind of running low on that, but what we've done is tried to limit our use of it into just essential uses. Let me think what else. But yeah, like, they just didn't bring a lot of things, guys. And but listen, my cabinets are packed, honestly, packed. And, I can make, we have food. I can make something. It's just things that I would like in certain essential, well, what I consider essential. Like, when I say no meats, like no meat, no, if it's meat, they didn't bring it, essentially. But they bought like turkey bacon. They did bring that. Some fish that I like to get. I like this swai fish. It's SWAI. I don't know if you've ever heard of it, but they brought that. But fish isn't meat. So it also goes to show you what people are like really buying up, because like I said, the fish was available. People weren't buying fish, or not that fish. The bacon was available, the turkey bacon, but so many other things, snack foods. Some were available, some weren't. French fries. I like to get French fries. No French fries. So I guess people are like at home with their kids eating French fries and chicken nuggets, which is fine. I understand. If I was in this situation and Michaela was older, we'd probably just be eating French fries and chicken nuggets too. But I did buy a bunch of new things for Michaela, like quinoa, which I eat as well, but not as often. So I bought a big bag because I wanted to start introducing Michaela to quinoa and millet, and farro, all like different grains and seeds, and all it's supposed to be really healthy, you know, containing protein, and I also bought these like little pasta stars made from semolina, and I want to try them as well with her. I've already introduced her to pasta, and I usually, like, I've done spaghetti with her, and I've chopped it up or mashed it up with a fork and fed it to her that way. There's probably other ways to do it. Maybe you can let them self-feed it. Michaela doesn't really self-feed, and that's because of me. Now, like early on when I wanted to do baby-led weaning, she wasn't self-feeding, and then I kind of just took all of the, I guess, the chances away from her, and I haven't allowed her to use her spoon or self-feed, and I'm like nervous. Anytime I let her use her spoon, she just essentially waves it around and doesn't, you know, she does put it in her mouth, but then I'm also concerned she'll stick it too far down her throat, and I don't know, I'm crazy, so I'm like, will she stick it down her throat and like gag or something, or worse? So I'm watching her constantly. We just tried for the first time snacks. I hadn't given her any snacks, and I gave her these strawberry flavored rice rusk that are, you can get from Walmart. They're Parents' Choice, and thanks, shout out to Tay Marie for telling me about them. And yeah, they're pretty good. She liked them a lot. I was more comfortable with giving her them than the baby puffs, because for some reason I'm nervous that she'll swallow a baby puff and not try to chew it, although she does chew, and she kept biting and chewing these rice rusks, and she chews other things, but I don't know. The baby puffs, they say they dissolve in their mouth, but they're small and kind of hard, and they do dissolve after a few like chews or bites. You have to bite on them a little bit and get them wet with saliva, which shouldn't be a problem with Michaela because she's always drooling, and once you do that, they do dissolve. But I thought like they just touch your mouth and dissolve, like go in and dissolve, and that's not how they work. So I need to try that. I need to let her grow and explore a little more than I've been doing. But I am really nervous about it because when she was 4 months old, she had, we took her to the ER because she was choking on her own mucus, drool, saliva. I don't know what it was, and we didn't know what she was choking on. It was nothing. She didn't have access to anything to choke on anything, but she was gasping and couldn't breathe. And we took her to the ER, and she was ultimately fine. But it was just really nerve-wracking. And so since then, I've been very, you know, like, I don't know, should I give her anything? Should I give her this? Should I give her that? But I know she can't stay on purees forever. And at 9 months, she really should be moving on to at least chunkier purees, which is what I'm doing, chunkier. But I'd really like to do finger food. I never wanted to do purees. I wanted to do straight baby-led weaning, but that didn't work out. So, but I really like to get her on more finger foods by this point. I also purchased some farina. She eats oatmeal a lot, very chunky oatmeal with raisins in it actually, and she can manage that. But I really want to start opening up her palate more to like different types of foods and finger foods. So yeah, so like I said, yesterday was my first day out in almost 6 weeks. I went to the church to get some produce and things that they didn't bring from the supermarket, because I thought they had those things. They had some things there, but not necessarily the produce that I wanted. I wanted sweet potatoes as well because Michaela likes sweet potatoes, and they didn't have that. They had a bunch of random other things that I did pick up, but they also had pulled pork, which was pretty awesome, that I was able to get that from the church. But and they had bananas and carrots, which I picked up, but I already had, but whatever. I mean, I'm freezing stuff, so I'll just freeze it. But it's just crazy to me, guys. Like, you know, I don't know if food is scarce where you're at. And again, food's not, I don't want to oversell it like all the shelves are bare, but I'm just saying certain things like, meat products and, um, like I said, no butter. Eggs apparently are getting scarce, although I did get eggs from the supermarket and I didn't have a problem with it. I'm getting them, but I've heard other people mention that, eggs, they can't get eggs or eggs are hard to find. Um, it's just crazy. I don't get it. I mean, I don't know if there are people just buying up the supply of it and hoarding it, or are companies not able to produce it. I know that Tyson had shut down, I think, a pork factory because a lot of the employees were infected or were getting infected. So I don't really know. Is that what's causing this shortage? Things like that. I don't know. Or maybe it's just in this area because people up here are just buying it up. I don't know. Anyway, but I went out and it was not as scary as I thought in some ways, but then terrifying in other ways. Like, I had the mask on, and if you're walking on the street, it's very easy to just avoid people because the streets aren't really crowded, so you can avoid people. But the thing is, and everyone for the most part had masks on. I saw people driving their cars with masks on as well. But everyone had masks on. The thing that was when I went in the church area to get the food, people were way too close. They all had masks on though. They all did. I also had gloves on. Not everyone had gloves on. Everyone had a mask or face covering, but they were just too close for me. Too close. Like, I'm just like 6 feet, please, 6 feet, and people weren't. They were kind of, so I was happy to get the things, but I kind of wanted to be able to go in there and not have people around me. So I'm not sure if I should do it again. That was my first time out, and I was just like, Jesus, please don't let this, any of them have and would come across. I mean, it's bad enough when I get groceries, I gotta wipe everything down, spray it down, and, wipe and spray down the packaging, take things out of boxes. We take cereal out of boxes and wipe down the packaging and spray things, and milk containers, wiping down. We do all that because although it's not a huge risk of getting this virus from the packaging or food, it is still not a 0% risk. So we're trying to limit those risks where we can. So, I have to do all that because you don't know where these things came from, who's touching it, how many hands, and then to be with people being closer, I was just kind of like, please back up. Mask. I want mask, gloves, and a radius of, 10 feet around me at all times. And so I went out, I did get some things, but I'm not sure if I will do it again, guys. I don't know. I was kind of terrified, and I don't know. I don't know if it was worth it, but I'm happy to get those things. And if I'm praying that, I wasn't exposed because I hadn't left the house at all. I do have asthma, which and hypertension now, thanks to Miss Michaela and the pregnancy. So I know that those two things put you at a higher risk of having complications if you do get that illness. So trying to stay in as much as possible because of those risk factors. So normally my husband goes out and does everything. But this time, I hadn't been out in 6 weeks, not even out the door. So this time I went, and we'll see. So fingers crossed. And I will talk to you guys soon. Stay safe to you and your families, and we'll be through this soon.